Hello and welcome to the next episode of our Resistance playthrough. Now, in the last one, we have been expanding heavily in space. We got a lot of stations now. We have built a lot of research modules. And these research modules are going to finish up in this episode in the next weeks. So in February, actually in a few days, it's already time for those. And what you can see here is that I named the station based on what is in there. Like, for example, this one has 4 social science modules and 3 space science modules. Part of that were already done in the previous, some episodes ago. And also on Mars, I made some research module based on that, what we need urgently, which is mostly material science and information science and a bit of energy. What we are lacking is going to be military science, because we don't have any modules for that as of now. But when the construction modules finish, which is going to be in May, so relatively soon as well, then we can start making more bases on Mars itself, and therefore we can also expand into more research modules that are going to give us bonuses to the global priorities here. Now, the most important thing to finish is now hydrobiology here, so we are going to quickly push this. We can go scale back advanced atomic manipulation a bit. And also what I want to mention is that I have been slacking on defending my control points here. So the defend mission, it's very useful to prevent aliens, not agents, but other agents, to go against our control of these nations here. We should also put... wait a second, we can stop spoiling this again. So we go back into something like this here, spread out the investments a bit. Like, yeah, I think this is fine. Still working on the inequality to get it down and finish up the mission control, which is almost done. And then we have to rearrange the investment points in Canada and also, Mexico's already done. I didn't notice. So we are going to hammer down the inequality in Canada. By the way, if you press Control, you can assign in all at the same time. So I think we're going to do it like this. 50% into welfare and then a bit of economy and knowledge to get Mexico up in living standards and therefore enabling more mission control when we are richer and more educated. This is good. And of course the US can build mission control for like forever here. So let's finish up the biology project here.
Protecting our interests.
And also the research labs should... There we go. There's the fission platform kit. Awesome. And after biology, I think we are going to lose it though. Wait a second, can we? Yeah, we can make sure that we win. Still, great. We have so much science. And here's hydrobiology. Our pre-autopsy assessment reveals that, as expected, the aliens are carbon-based and breathe oxygen as like ourselves. Their ability to exist without protection on Earth makes it highly likely that the atmospheric composition on their homeworld is highly similar to our own. More unexpected is that the prevailing inverted knees anatomical theory is incorrect. What we are seeing is not the knee, but the ankle. Thus, their leg anatomy is akin that of a horse or dog. Since this type of structure is better suited to speed than climbing, it is highly likely these aliens evolved on flatter terrain and perhaps were once prey for another species. The autopsy itself has yielded invaluable detail on the aliens' psychology, specifically how they are capable of feats and abilities impossible for any species on Earth.
Our autopsy of the alien is complete, Commander.
We have learned a great deal from studying the Hydra corpse. The alien's psychology exhibits a combined nervous and circulatory system. Each Hydra possessing 3 heart, brain centers, 1 in the head, proximal and topmost vertebrae, and 2 in the abdomen at the right hypochondrium and the left iliac region. So basically spread out in the system. The redundant system means that barraging catastrophic damage to more than 1 heart or nerve cluster, a Hydra can regenerate most of its functionality. Though the loss of 1 cluster is likely to limit higher cognitive function, an alien with 2 working clusters will still be able to perform basic to intermediate tasks. The Hydra's regenerative capability appears to make the aliens largely unaffected by senescence. whatever that is. While they are not ageless, they seem capable of maintaining consistent fitness, mobility, and cognition for the majority of their natural lives, which our current estimate places at between 160 and 200 years. The trade-off is both being long-lived and resilient. The trade-off to being both long-lived and resilient is a complex psychology that is slow to develop and requires a great deal of energy. Hydra are non-gendered at birth. Each member of the species is born with latent male and female reproductive organs that do not fully develop until precipitated by specific conditions at a certain point in their life cycle. Though not uncommon on Earth, sequential hermaphroditism is here only found in lower order creatures such as fish, gastropods, and plants. Hydras seem to only become sexual towards the end of their life cycle, and once sex assignment is complete, there is no changing back. All of this implies a low birth rate. We have also discovered something we believe to be more immediately relevant to our operations. While the clicking noises were recorded during the acquisition of the specimen are complex enough to be a language, we do not believe auditory communication to be the primary Hydra method of exchanging information. Instead, we have found the multi-tip protuberances on the face and bulbs on the back of the neck to contain elaborate sensory organs that collect data from the air and pass along that data to a hyper-developed vervomeronasal organ, similar to how snakes use their tongues. The function of these Hydra organs appears to be communicative as well as sensory. They have the capability to rapidly construct and emit streams of cells, which we have dubbed pherocytes. These pherocytes can then be absorbed by other Hydras in turn. The chemicals produced by the pherocytes can be highly complex, and we have discovered various compounds which our linguists have theorized may function as a kind of biological alphabet. This implies a bidirectional mechanism, something like pheromones, but via a living cell. However, the purpose of the pherocytes may go beyond communication. Some of the chemicals bear a resemblance to a psychoactive drug, with properties that suggest that they may have been specifically tailored to affect humans. Our science team strongly wishes to embark on a focused study of these pherocytes. Okay, so we have to go into Hydropherocyte as a project and see where that leads. And now into the shipyard here. Yeah, grid drive shipyard and also the fission platform kit. Yeah, that's what we want as well. And now we have to win the 2 global techs first, and then we can see what we can make out of this. And we want to make a ship, and we have to pick the mission to Jupiter from. Ooh, we found the alien force here as well. Wait a second, there's something on the door. Always funny if you have to make a break because someone is at the door and wants to give you a package or something. Okay, where were we? That was an unexpected break. So yeah, we found another alien. And we also found strange behavior. Okay, so they're trying to shift public opinion in favor of the servants. Okay, and we found one here and down here. We found 2. Interesting. Sadly, we don't have enough agents to keep an eye on both of them. But we do know that the one is in Russia. I think I'm going to go after this one next. And then we have to see if we can hunt this one down long term. But yeah, this is... unexpected development. There. Yeah, Kazan is where we are. No, that's an... Oh, we... What a turn. So all 3 are visible now. So I think 3 are left because we have taken 3 out. 1, 2, 3. This means that we are going to stay here in Russia to hunt these 2 down.
Then they can clean or cook.
Okay,
or
biotechnology is done. And we are going to pick mission to Jupiter here now. If you don't want to rush anything on Jupiter, you can just skip this one for now and do it later. Because it's relatively expensive, but it's going really well, and I want to send out a ship with a grid drive to mine on Jupiter here. So now this one is getting 1, this one is also 1, so we can go back into our projects here and invest heavily in this to get everything unlocked that we need. And now the It's only the construction module which is still left here. Good. And Mars is also almost done completely now. So it's going to be on the 27th. So let's wait out the mission phase and then we can check out our research bonuses here. Ferrosites is of course going to be a priority 1 project. And here we are going to... Bit of unity can't hurt. We also need an army here, so let's do this. Missile test. Aha. Interesting. Up to 4.2. Okay, there's more energy labs finishing. And with that, I think most of them are done now. Yes. Yeah, all research labs are done. We can see that we are now at 2.8k and our research priorities or our not investment, but our percentages here are now, of course, extremely high. We do get 41% from orcs and 33% from HEP modules here. We have 50% from faction projects and 50% from the investment or the percentage here. So all of this is now pretty good to make our relatively small research very efficient in the investment into these projects and global techs. And that's more or less all that we can do for now until we have reached the research campus. Of course, we can make more bases here on Mars, which we are going to do as soon as the construction module is done. And yeah, let's get to the grid drive and the shipyard and have a look at the ship design again. So, to see what we want to make out of that. Okay, it's April and we have finished all the project that we need for ship construction that we want. Also, meanwhile, our alien attention bar, or however you want to call it, has gone up. It was even at 5 stars temporarily, but now we have to be a bit careful, so I stopped hunting down the other 2 here, which are still one in Russia, one down here. And I'm going to lay low for a while to let this decay again. Also, I'm pushing global techs now a bit harder because we want to get all the projects behind this here, operational security, and then the hydroponics bay, and then the farm behind space agriculture, because we have to fix our volatiles and the farms are going to help with that. Our upkeep from all the research that we are doing in space is substantial, so we have to keep that in mind here. Now, ship design. We go to the ship designer, and first of all we have to think about what kind of class do we design. We can use a corvette, we can use a gunship, or we can use an escort. The escort doesn't have a front weapon, it has only 2 hardpoint weapon slots. The gunship has 1 front weapon, that's all, and the corvette has a hull weapon and a front weapon. The problem is, we have researched the Artemis rocket torpedo, but we do not have a front gun research. So we only have the 10-inch cannon, which is basically from a ship, from an ocean-going ship put into a spaceship. Not really efficient. So the only design left is basically the escort class here, so that we can put torpedoes on it. There we go. We don't really need an armor, so we can pick whatever we want here, because we're not going to make any armor on that ship. It's just supposed to fly to Jupiter for us and bring along a fission platform kit so that we can make a station somewhere in the system where we land. Then the drive is going to be the grid drive here, so we are not going to use the rockets anymore, but I'm going to leave the Nova Liquid here, which is more or less a good one. Ion drive we don't need either. So the grid drive has 10,000 Newton of thrust, which is basically nothing, and an exhaust velocity of 210 kps, which means that the fuel lasts literally forever. So we have a very high amount of fuel in that, or very efficient fuel, but we don't really have a lot of thrust from that fuel. So now we do need a generator. For that, we have researched the solid core fission reactors. The upgrades to them make them lighter, so our ship has less mass from the generator, from the heat and energy it has to produce. To get the heat out of the system, we can use the titanium radiator here, so that it can project the heat into space. Now we still have one utility mod slot available here. We could, for example, put an ion battery in that, but I don't need why we would want one. We could put a magazine in there, or we could put a second platform kit in there. But as we can see, the platform kit weighs 325 tons, so that's going to explode the rate a lot further than it already is, and the magazine only costs 100. So in case that we get attacked, we do at least have a few shots of missiles here that we can use. And now we have to see how much fuel we need to get to Jupiter properly. And with that, we can simulate an example transfer here. So we are going to start. The origin is going to be in our space stock here. And the destination is going to be Callisto. And now we can see the fleet has insufficient delta V to reach the selected destination. So at least we do know now that our acceleration is not the problem, but we do need more KPS, so more fuel. We have to add more propellant here. We can also upgrade the drive to have multiple grid drivers in there. Basically multiple exhaust ports here. Not exhaust ports, multiple... How is that called in English? Exhaust port is where the heat goes out, but I don't know. So, let's first of all, let's simulate we have 5 propellant tanks here, which take all a bit of water and a bit of metal. And then we would see that we would take 70 weeks to reach it. Well, that's quite long. 56 weeks in a year, so that's... nah. We can go up to 6 drives total maximum. It would still be 72 weeks, but our acceleration went up significantly. If we increase the fuel now, we see it goes down to 32 weeks. The big question now is, okay, can we balance it somewhere? Because our weight just went up to 2,400 tons. Most of that is the generator, radiators, and propellant here. Because we have 10 tons of propellant now. 10 times 100 tons, so 1,000 tons, sorry. And we also have our costs. They are now considerable for this pretty tin can-like of ship. So maybe we just go down and the grid drive again. Let's see what it does. Oh, it goes down to 30 weeks. So the rate goes down, efficiency goes up. Acceleration has changed a tiny bit. Let's see. Okay, if we reduce fuel, it goes up again. If we add even more fuel, we see it goes down to 25 and stays around 25. And then it goes up again because the acceleration goes down from the added rate here. So maybe want to go to something like 15 tanks. But let's save this for a moment and check something else. Because it's a solar system that is moving constantly and going around the sun. The question is, what's the alignment to Jupiter currently? We can see here now that the Earth launch window, the next Earth launch window is... The next one is going to be on the 29th of January 2030. So currently it's going up. And it will probably soon go down again when we get closer to the next launch window. And we still need 3 months to build the ship in the first place. So the earliest start date to start flying towards Jupiter from now on would be May, June, July. So in July, we could fly towards it. So the question is, how big is the penalty of it at that point? Is it better or less than 26%? I can't say, so we don't know. I don't know what the maximum penalty is there. So let's go back to the ship design again. It's the Shivi class here. So we'd maybe just accept the 25 weeks as a pretty good goal. It would cost us 140 water, 25 volatiles, 72 metal, 32 nobles, so that's relatively expensive, and 2.2 fissiles. I don't mind. We can play around a bit to see if we can maybe improve this further. See that the weeks are going up. If we go to 5 drives, we get even 24 weeks. So can we... Okay, this would be a tiny bit more efficient. 6 drive as well. Okay, so maybe I just should have gone higher with the fuel here. Okay, so 6 drive we definitely want to. And then we would be at 22. Looks like this is the most efficient design. 22 weeks as a baseline. 180 water, 20 volatile, 36, 80, 40, 2.6. Let's call it Jupiter. Let's call it Jupiter. And save the design. Good. That's one ship. Now let's consider that we maybe want to also have a ship that flies with the colonizer ship and also brings missiles, just in the bad case that something has to be defended. I mean, we will not bring armor because it will slow us down tremendously. But we can see here that now we are down to 20.95 weeks. So we can probably decrease this one here. So we can decrease the fuel because we don't have to ship the 300 tons of the fusion platform kit anymore. So it will be 22. So let's stay at 15. Let's call this Jupiter support or Jupiter sub. And now let's check them out. So 1.9, 2.3. Yeah, actually, we have over-designed here. The acceleration should be around about the same. And then we would see the same things here. So 22 weeks here. With this one. And we can go down to 2.2 here. No, wait, what was the number? 1.9. We can go to 1.9. Yeah, as you can see here, it would get cheaper, have the same acceleration roughly. We could do it like that. And can even reduce the fuel further. Jupiter sub version 2. Save it. Let's compare it again. Now they are much closer together here in the regards of acceleration. And therefore, these two could go together to Jupiter. And we can see here that the ship which is bringing the module to build a station is of course more expensive, and the other one is significantly cheaper. Now we need to consider when will this one finish. So if we buff this up here, the earliest time we would finish this would be in October 29. So we have at least 1 month to wait until we could start on the ships. Alternatively, we start on them already and then make multiple of those. So currently it would cost us 90 days to do. The other option would be to upgrade our shipyard. Apparently I already have the research done. And the shipyard upgrade would cost us 80 days. So 80 days plus then less time for construction. Do we want to do this? If we make a new one, let's see. If we build a new shipyard here, 120 days. So let's upgrade one of those. Here we go. We also want to have the construction module here. Same for the other station. I forgot apparently. And then let's continue adding a few more of our shipyards here. Just for the future. We do have the metal now. We elect volatile hard. And that was all we can afford from the energy perspective here. But that is at least something now. Good. Very good. So we can wait until we see the right window for the start of the construction. 14th of October if we go all in. I'm not sure that I want to right now, but maybe we should. The thing is, then we can start the ship around October. Require, let's say, 25 weeks, which would be a bit less than half a year. So we would arrive on Jupiter, or rather Callisto, half a year later. So that's November, December, January, February, March, April. We would arrive on Jupiter around April or March of 2030. Sounds pretty good, or? I like this. So let's just start one of the ships here. So we have it in reserve. And then we can make the protective support ships later to and see if we can send them along in time, or if not, if that doesn't work out. It will be interesting to see where the launch window will be in October, if it's favorable for us or not. I don't know. But let's find out. Maybe it's even faster than March or April 2030. Wouldn't that be perfect? And now we are going to just continue here, because most of the stuff we have achieved now, it will stay like this for the moment. There will be the agriculture stuff coming in for our stations, but I'm going to mention that only briefly when I do it. And for now, we just have to push projects and global tech and solidify our hold on Earth here, while we also play nice with the aliens for a moment to let the aggression decay before they do something that we would regret later. Yeah, perfect. Okay, time to wrap up this episode, which has seen a lot of progress again. Now, in between, I have expanded our foothold on Mars and founded another 8 bases there, which are now mining and also getting in hydroponics bay. So our volatile problem is also solved this way, and our mining income is going up significantly. I still have to add the hydroponics bay. It's already on the space stations on Earth. I have to still add it to the other Mars bases, so that's also something I'm going to do now. And also I want to get started on upgrading to the nanofactories here to make some money to solve our issues there as well. I'm going to start with the, let's call it, old bases, so the initial 6 plus Moon. And then I will go later into the other bases here, which I'm going to upgrade to in settlement as well. And all that has led to Mars having 2,000 population by now. It's still far away from 10,000, but we are going to get there eventually. And now to the final of this episode, we are going to get the mission to Jupiter, which is allowing us to have more mining habitats. So we are going to fill up Mars with that as well. So Mars is almost fully colonized now, not only by us, but also by the other factions. So only 4 mining slots are left, which I'm going to take with the Jupiter tech here, which allows us to have more mining. And also quantum encryption is on the way. Self-repairing software is also on the way, which will, in combination with quantum computing, lead to quantum encryption, if I didn't forget anything. Let's be sure here. So quantum encryption, yeah, both are under construction here. And the big question is, what do we do after mission of Jupiter? I think something Earth-oriented, because we need that. We have to expand our mission control here. That's something
forget
We-
that the true power in
We are
any
not going
kingdom
to
is not
send
the
a
man
probe.
on the throne.
So we're not going to use that. Instead, we are going to fly there with a ship. And this also opens up now the fusion that we have reached with the other techs, but I'm not going to go into fusion as of yet. Instead, we now have to make some decisions. We have to get in situ resource utilization. We have to get supercapacitors eventually. We have to get space commerce, international relations, sociology, and so on. There's a lot of stuff we need. Also cybernetics here, but we don't have the cash to buy cybernetic implants. We also want... Let's check something. Do we have everything for the research centers? So space research, directed space research will require quantum encryption. We have that, and then we get the tier 2 research centers. So that's perfect. We just have to wait for the quantum computing to be done here. And on the other side of the tree, arrival law or arrival security should be. Yeah, right. I forgot about that one almost. So arrival security should be on the agenda now, for which we need terrestrial military science. So let's pick that one. Oh, I could have done that easier. Terrestrial military science, here we go. And then we go into arrival security. And now we are going to push some projects again, just due to the fact that we have to do some of them again before we push quantum computing and the others out of the way. But now we can send our Jupiter fleet here, which is one ship by now, and consider flying to Jupiter itself. And we can fly to Callisto here. It will take 32 weeks, so the launch window is actually bad, but it will still be in April because the research has finished already in August. So yeah, the limit apparently is over 40% penalty from bad launch window. We're going to accept it. Instead of 25 weeks, we will take 33 weeks here now. I don't think there's much we can do about it. We could there's one thing we could consider though. So if we make an upgrade here, because I think I unlocked the next generator here. That would cost... Yeah, it would take a few weeks out of this. Not bad. Not bad. And do we need more fuel or less fuel here? Nah, it wouldn't change much. Okay, so where were we? Let's do it again. So we upgrade to level 4 fission. Solid core fission reactor. Saving us about 200 tons. So, Jupiter version 2. Save it. And now what we have to do is we have to refit the existing class. It will take 18 days. Yes, 18 days. Let's do it. And then we can start towards, well, Jupiter. Didn't really save much time in the end, but it makes the ships a bit lighter in the end. So, that's good. So, let's just wait the 18 days until we can do this. And then let's start flying towards Jupiter.
Order is returning.
Violence is abating.
Oh no.
Things up.
There is a
Cleaning things
hurricane. That's not good.
Cleaning things up.
Okay, one more mission phase we have to start here. And there goes operational security +2, mission control, and the aliens are going to be less likely to be against us. We even get solid core fission reactor 5, which is something I want. Now let's get the mobile space lab to get advanced prospecting surveys here. A lot of things we need, which are really good for the resources here. And yeah, I should have done the upgrades here, but I will do that between episodes because it's relatively time consuming. Another fleet flying towards Earth. Let's check that out in a second as well. There we go. And we have to wait for the prospecting service to be finished. And let's get started on Marines. Yes, let's get a Marine. And this also means that we are going to get a space station over... we can't make tier 2 yet. But we are going to make one here. And we are going to build a space dock here. So 15th of October and a fission pile. And then we can just do 2 space docks here. And then we can make marine ships here to take over more mass bases from the other factions like the Servants and the Protectorate, which have landed by now, which
We'll
is
be ready for new
completely
orders.
unacceptable to us. So therefore we get the marine modules here to build a ship for that and then visit them in their bases. That's perfect. Okay, and how long until my ship is done? 6 more days. We are just going to do... let's investigate the aliens here. There's something ongoing apparently. Meanwhile, I have been pushing more welfare here in the US to fix the cohesion
Offering
problems
counsel.
for good now. I think I have to aim to around 3.0 cohesion to get this significantly upwards. Here we go. So, we have the fleet. And now let's see where we will arrive. Last time it was around early. It's the same day. It's the same day. Okay, good. It's still a bit more efficient. And let's go. We fly to Callisto. And with that, I'm going to cut the episode. Leave a like and subscribe and see you in the next one where we fly to Jupiter, make a base there, and also continue building up space, which I have to do now in between episodes to adjust for some new modules and get the nanofactories going.